Welcome, join us as we explore the mystical insights of the Blood Moon Oracle, revealing profound guidance for your journey ahead. Thank you for watching.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. Leticia is my name. We are going to take a look at the energy tonight. I don't really have a certain subject or a topic. I'm just going to read what comes out, okay? If that's okay. Is that okay with you? I hope it's okay with you. I hope you guys are well tonight. Today is Hump Day, Wednesday, halfway through the week. And it's been a good week, I have to say. Any week without drama is a good week for me. So I'm not complaining about you. I'm not. Peace is my middle name. And I love peace. Okay, let's take a look and see the energy coming out. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led. I hope you guys are well today. Maybe somebody just needs some encouragement and they happen to stumble across my path. I hope that I've said or will say something that is encouraging, that can connect you to, inspiration, that can connect you to your higher self, that can connect you to the direction that Spirit would have you to go in. And maybe somebody needs to be sent in another direction. But let's see. We're just going to take a look at the energy coming out for you tonight. All right. What is the energy from my viewer, Spirit? Please and thank you. What is it that they need to know right now? All right. With Divine Matrix, you could be having a moment. You could be having a wake-up call, a wake-up moment where you realize the difference between reality and 5D, this other area where spirit dwells. With Divine Matrix, this is all about even seeing the bigger picture, like that life is not just evolving around us, like we are connected to greater purpose. We're possibly connected to a greater woven fabric is what I'm getting. When you think of those, what are those old country quilts? And they are made up of separate pieces done separately. And then once everything is done, then it's all brought together to make one whole, one piece. It's almost like there's some realization right now that it's not just you. Like you are connected to a bigger purpose. You're connected to a bigger piece of information, of unfolding. With Divine Matrix, this is realizing that there is like a higher realm of power in existence. We see what we see here and we know what we can do, but there's a whole nother realm of existence beyond the physical realm, a whole nother realm that operates under a whole different power, a whole different set of rules even. You could be in the place of realizing that right now. I'm just going to clarify this energy because this energy is so profound. Like this is not small stuff. And it's a 44. So it's a special number that many times points to healing, the need for healing, stability, maybe to be stabilized and grounded if you are in a place where you are awakening. I did have a reading recently where there was someone who was kind of coming to the realization outside of the norm, right? If that is you, this could be tapping back into that same energy. There may be a need to stabilize in that. Listen, it could get rough when you are in that transition to awakening to the point where you don't even realize what's real and what's not. Right. And so depending on your experience, that could be what it is. We have the 6 of another master number, 66. the Six of Inspirations and the Six of Materials. Yeah. And so this could be like about you riding on this, because it does feel like you take a ride when you're in that awakening energy, and it feels like you're floating many times, like you're dreaming and you're on top of the world, like you're unstoppable, you're victorious. And it may be needing some grounding, right? The Six of Materials is that opposite energy. The Six of Inspiration is out there like woo woo, but then the balance comes with the Six of Materials, which is Pentacles, which brings you down to earth. It grounds you. And so there's a balance between the two that may be needed. I don't know. You tell me. It might be needed. Okay. And so I am going to go ahead and move forward. That's the energy I'm seeing you in right now. What else does my viewer need to know, Spirit? The Oracle's Tea talks about your environment or the situation that you could be in right now. You could be in a space where you are receiving the Oracle's tea. Like you could be watching this right now. But what I'm saying could actually have more of a future projected effect, right? Because the Oracle's tea is about a seer. It's about someone who actually can project into the future to see. Before things actually come into being, there's some level of precognition. And so the environment that you're in right now might be one that's very psychic. It might be very prophetic things. And it does feel like that energy, especially if you're transitioning for whoever you are. Things may seem very, I don't want to say unreal, because when you're in that energy, you have a hard time telling the difference because you understand and you feel the realness of being up here. But there's something about you being in this environment or in this situation that is carrying you out of your body. It's almost like an out of body experience. And it may not be literally feeling like you're out of your body, but it's the energy of moving into the future. Does that make sense? Even though you may not necessarily be there, but there's some part of you that's being pushed forward. Something in your environment that is causing you to time travel and see things out of time. Let me see what this is. The Oracle's Gift. What is this for my viewer, Spirit? Why did this card come out for them? Right now, you could be spending a lot of time in your closet to yourself, just kind of really sitting in your power, weighing options even. Things could be feeling really big. Like every decision could feel like a big decision right now. I do see you with the Hermit and the Two of Wands. This is almost like you're having to consult Spirit for everything because it's so out of the norm. It's so, unnormal or unusual. You are seeking direction about this because it may feel like very unreal and unfamiliar as well. I'm just seeing you in that situation, this very ethereal situation. Let's see here. Give us more information, Spirit. I'm excited for you, wherever you are. I know what that feels like, and it feels amazing. It feels very scary at the same time because you're not used to it. It also feels very empowering. It's pretty amazing. So for whoever you are, I am happy for you. And if you need any guidance, please don't hesitate to reach out, okay? Because I've been there, I've done that, and it's amazing. Um, there's something here about an opportunity to step into a greater passion for life. The big love is like opening up your heart to experience passion and desire and excitement and thrill. Um, it's almost like we did not come here to just exist alone in our own space. Like we came here to connect with each other, to, feel what it feels like to meet others' needs and to have our needs met, to share in sorrow, to share in passion, to go after what it is that we crave to experience in life. This is an opportunity with great big love for you to step into this energy. And I feel like it's an energy that will affirm what it is that you desire, what it is that you want to experience, what it is that you crave out of life. Spirit is inviting you to step up to the plate and say it. Step up to the plate and acknowledge that you have these needs, that you have these desires, these wants. You weren't brought here just to live a mundane life, right? There's an opportunity for you to step out of that energy and live, really live, and allow yourself to live. Interesting enough, the cards that fell out, I'm going to take them, is the Seven of Swords and the Devil. And so the Seven of Swords is all about being careful. It's all about being aware of your surroundings, especially in this deck. It's about being aware of your surroundings and not limiting yourself to any one point of view. Like there's a need to open up so you can see everything, so you don't miss anything. So you have the opportunity to actually see everything. There may be something that feels a little bit tempting about this, or you may attempt to justify keeping yourself back. But there's so much that you might be missing if you don't allow yourself to step into this opportunity to experience life in a way that doesn't acknowledge like your fears. Like, so what? People might not understand the fact that now in life, all of a sudden you're taking a detour in a whole different direction. So what? That people may not understand the passions that all of a sudden arise, now that you are giving yourself permission to live a great big life. This is an opportunity for you. It's an opportunity for you to step outside of your fears or your bondage. Bondage doesn't always have to be drugs. It doesn't always have to be alcohol. It doesn't have to be sex. It doesn't have to be food. Bondage can also be the fears of being judged, things that would keep us in a place where we're not truly free to live life the way that we desire. That's bondage too, being in bondage to our own thoughts and our own fears and our own shortcomings when it comes to how we see things. This is an opportunity for you to step into an experience that you were brought here to experience. Okay. I do feel that way. I feel like you were brought here to have certain experiences. And up to this point, there could have been things that didn't allow you to have the permission within yourself to do it. Spirit is saying, but you do. You always have had that permission. This experience is breaking you out of that. Okay. It's breaking you out. It's an opportunity, right? But you do have to accept it and step into it. Let's see. What else? You got to step into it. I always look at things like, we have one life to live in these vessels, right? Time is not redeemable. Once it goes, you can't get it back. Some opportunities are not redeemable. Once they pass, they won't pass again. I look at life like, of course you have to use wisdom with what you are doing, but I look at life Like, why not? If it's not hurting you, if it's not hurting anyone else, if it is going to allow you to grow and to experience life in a different way, in a new way, and allow yourself to be free, and that's going to give you a sense of contentment and happiness, like, why not? Why not? It's time to sit down and write a list of pros and cons. Let's see what else comes out here. What else, Spirit? It is what it is. The universe is saying, you know what? It is what it is. Like, the only thing that you can do or fix or maybe make better is you. Like, there's nothing that you can, there's no one else other than you that you can fix, right? This is about you. And it is what it is, meaning nothing changes unless you change it, unless you step into the power to, understand how sovereign you are within your life. We give permission. That devil came out for a reason. Sometimes we give permission for people and for things, for ideas that can come in any form to restrict us. We have to give people permission to do that. And when we decide that we no longer want to give up that power, then we step up and we do what we want to do. Doesn't mean that everybody else has to come along. It doesn't mean that everybody else will understand. None of that matters. It is what it is, right? But you have a power within yourself. You have a decision on how you will experience life from this day forward, right? Because there's nothing really hidden to explain to you. Spirit is saying that it is what it is. Like, there's nothing else unless you make it something else. You are that spark of light. You are that movement that changes how your life is unfolding, right? There's no need to sugarcoat. Like, if you're not enjoying life, that's it. It is what it is, right? What can you do moving forward so that you can enjoy life? If you are enjoying life and you made decisions that will allow you to be content and enjoy life, that is what that is too. Nobody needs to add to that. That's all within you. When you decide that you're ready to enjoy yourself and allow yourself to, get everything out of life that's available, that's completely up to you. Nobody can change that, right? Nobody can argue with your experience. It is what it is. Spirit wants you to know that. And sometimes that also means that sometimes things have to get to a point to where we're like, okay, why is it that I feel like I should be, experiencing more or doing more, or life should just be different, right? Sometimes it has to get to that energy for us to be discontented enough to want to change something or to want to make a different decision, to want to take a different path. It is what it is. It's almost like accepting things, not making excuses, not trying to sugarcoat things, but just call it what it is, right? If you've reached a point where you are just done and you need a whole new environment, you need a whole new setup, you need a whole new routine, you need new friends, you need new family, like, it is what it is. We not finna play with this. Spirit is not finna play with this, right? Change is calling. It is what it is. Spirit is letting you know, for someone, whoever you are, you've come to that point, and this is the point of change. You had to get here in order to become dissatisfied enough or hungry enough for something different, change. And that change is here. That's what this is about. Spirit is saying, it is what it is. And Spirit may also be letting you know that this change is happening on your behalf. If it's something that you didn't decide, sometimes Spirit can be that energy that comes in to intercede, because we sometimes don't have the knowledge. Sometimes we don't have the support. Sometimes we don't have the strength to do it, to see it, to make the change. So Spirit causes certain events to happen to cause us to shift, right? Whatever that is, Spirit is saying it is what it is. This is happening. right? And so it was clarified by the death and the Six of Swords. This change, right, that you've made. I feel like you made this change because the Six of Swords, voluntary crossing over from one space to another. Now, this could be something that you've already done. This could be something that you have decided that you're ready to do, no matter what part of this transition you're in. It is what it is. A change has come. A change is imminent. Okay. That's just what it is. We can no longer, tape it up. You know how you have that favorite, whatever, that favorite pair of jeans, and it keeps busting at the seams and you keep sewing it up. There's nothing like a good pair of jeans, right? You could just wear it forever, every day of the week too, because it just fits and it feels good. Or you can have that favorite blanket or that favorite mug, right? Whatever the favorite thing is, you done use it till it's been used up and there's nothing left. But you keep repairing it. You keep taping it up. You keep sewing it up until you just can't anymore. You just can't. I'm hearing somebody saying, I can't. And I know how that feels to just can't anymore. I just can't look at people that aren't really truthful and honest or real, right? I just can't. Like, you get to the point where your tolerance level is like lower than the minimum, right? We are in a deficit when it comes to tolerance to some types of things. But I feel like somebody is just at that point where they're just like, I just can't. I can't anymore. And this change is coming through just like that because you've reached your limit. You've reached your threshold. Spirit is telling you that this is happening. It is what it is. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Just accept it and then be willing to take the opportunity for the change. Okay, that's what this is all about. And then we have close encounters. It's almost like there's something about your situation right now that Spirit doesn't want you to hide or try to act like it's not, right? It is what it is. There's no sugarcoating it, no trying to fix it up to make it look like something else. Like, Spirit may want you to acknowledge this, even outwardly. Like, this is almost like the energy of Spirit wanting you. This thing is happening right now, and it's not just happening to you, it's happening for you. There's another butterfly in this picture. Now that this one has been released and escaped from the cage, you see that? This is not just happening for you. Like, there's something about what you're going through right now, this process, that other people are supposed to witness this. You're not supposed to hide this transition that is happening to you right now in life. There's something about you being open and transparent with your process, whether it is something that you're feeling victorious about or whether it's something that is difficult, like it's a struggle. Spirit is wanting you to be open, and I'm hearing vocal too. Spirit is wanting you to be open and vocal with your experience right now, because there could be someone that's supposed to be vicariously learning through your experience. Something that you are sharing, that someone is watching and taking notes from how you're handling this, from maybe even the transition, the transformation, your boldness to be able to handle this change, or something that Spirit wants you to openly demonstrate here. I'm going to get, what is close encounters for my viewer? Yeah, 9 of Wands. Another master number, 99, comes out. Lots of signs and synchronicities in your reading. It's like someone is going to see you, and they knew you when you was stressed out and when you was down and out and when you was this close to losing your mind. On the other side of that, the same person or same people are going to see you in your happy place. From the 9 of Wands to the 9 of Cups. In your happy place. Maybe still losing your mind, but it's in a whole different way. for good, losing your mind because of the contentment and the joy and you just being in your own lane, your own energy. I don't know how to explain that, but from stressed with the Nine of Wands to blessed with the Nine of Cups, doing it your way. Let's see here. What else for my viewer? I did it my way. I'm hearing that. Wish Upon a Star comes out. I feel like in the near future, you're going to have an opportunity to experience something that you've asked for, that you have desired. Whatever this is going, excuse me, whatever this is going to require for you to receive it, right? You may have already been doing the healing, right? But it's going to require for the healed version of you to receive this that you desire, that you've asked for. There may be a need to even allow yourself to move over into the energy of childlikeness. And when I say that, I mean, you know how children are very easily led? They're very easily entertained. They're very easily satisfied. They're very easily pleased, right? There's the sense of wonder that a child has more than the need to be critical, right? You put a child out in an empty field, they're exploring. They're not trying to, ask questions and disprove the beauty of nature. They're not trying to tear down nature, but they're rather enjoying it, right? They're finding out how beautiful it is and how many different ways you can entertain yourself and how you can learn and explore and, have fun. And so there's something about you having to enter into this very healed, childlike energy in order to receive this request, this wish that you've made, that you've desired. And if you've already been doing the healing, I feel like you're going to know why you have to enter into this energy. Sometimes we grow up and we become grown, right? And we still realize that there's still some unhealed childhood wounds. Sometimes those unhealed childhood wounds are still very much operating in the background. Not only are they operating in the background, but they are functioning in a way to protect us. Depending on what happened in childhood, we may have needed protection, like we may have needed some correction, some discipline, whatever that was. Sometimes that follows us. If it goes unchecked and we end up grown, and that never got checked, that's still operating in the background. Sometimes it's something that can stop us or block us from certain things that we want to experience now that we're older. And so sometimes it requires a little bit of healing. But let's see what this is. What is this wish that's coming towards my viewer in the near future that they'll need to heal for? What is the wish? We got the Empress and the High Priestess. Okay. I'm almost feeling now like you could be developing into this oracle energy, this energy that's going to change the environment. I'm hearing. What have you asked for? Have you asked for this experience that you're having right now? Because this is like having a very specific connection to the divine. And the beautiful thing about having the Empress and the High Priestess at the same time, one is an earthly position and one is a spiritual position. You got both of them. So there's a position that you will be in the future. I asked what you wish for. So someone has asked to be positioned in a certain way. And it has something to do with you not only having a divine connection, but also having a earthly favor as well. But it's purposeful. It's purposeful. There is something that you will be doing that positions you this way, whatever that is. This gives you access for some reason. This is getting good. I'm liking this. So that's the near future I'm seeing. The near future. Your position is going to change. You will come into the understanding of your position. Okay. And I feel like you just opened up for whoever you are with the Rose's Kiss. You may have just opened up to new experiences or allowing yourself to have new experiences in the same way. I don't know if you can see this butterfly perched on this rose, how the wings are open. That actually symbolizes your ability to open up for new things or new experiences, or even love, new experiences. The Rose's Kiss. I feel like you have opened up recently or decided that you will open up to something new. You're done with the past. That's what I'm getting from this card. I feel like you're done with something and you are ready for something new. You're ready for a new experience. That happened just recently. What caused this opening to happen recently in the past? What was it that caused this shift? So we have the Ace of Cups, right? That's the new beginning. And we have the King of Swords. The Ace of Cups and the King of Swords. You accepted some type of offer. You may have accepted some type of offer from someone that caused some type of awakening to what was actually possible. It might have kind of, I'm hearing, triggered you or snapped you out of something, some old belief or way that you were seeing things. But whatever it was kind of kick-started your heart again, kick-started your ability to see and to understand that, like, you haven't missed the boat. It's not too late. Like, so there's something that happened in the past that caused you to open up again. It could be new love. It could be some type of offering from someone. And it doesn't have to be love-based. It could just be someone who extended some gift in that way that opened up your heart and opened up your mind to your heart energy. On one hand, I feel like it could be love, but the King of Swords says that, because the King of Swords is not really mushy like that. The King of Swords is not lovey-dovey. The King of Swords is more like having your head on straight. And so there's something that you realize, and I don't feel like you realized it through emotions. However, it could have been the initiator of this realization. There was something that kickstarted this energy for you. There may be some experience you had, some new experience. I'm going to clarify that again. What is the Ace of Cups? Lots of water energy, emotional. The Queen of Wands. I feel like this is you. Something happened, some type of experience that you had that just kind of woke you up inside and set your heart on fire. What happened? What happened that set my viewer's heart on fire here? and they can't tell you nothing. Yeah. You might have just given yourself permission to do something one day, and that was like the straw that broke the camel's back, that just opened up the floodgates of passion. It could have been just one little thing that you allowed yourself to try, then all of a sudden it's like, what was that? Never the same after that. Whatever it is with the Queen of Wands and the Eight of Swords released you from some fear, released you from some false thought that you used to believe kept you safe, but it didn't. Yeah. And so it could have been just one simple little event that you went to, and it just changed everything. Never the same after that. But whatever that was, you are now open to something new. You're open to move forward from the past. This just happened too, just recently. Just recently. And it could have something to do with the King of Swords. It could have something to do with how you have just stepped into that energy after having a passionate moment. Either way, never the same. Never the same. You about to take flights. I hear somebody saying, don't catch feelings, catch flight. Because you about to catch flights. Let's see what else comes out here. All right, into me I see. And don't think you invisible, because you're not. I feel like people are watching. They're watching this awakening that you're having, and this journey into yourself. People are seeing you this way, like as someone who is diving deep within yourself, discovering who you are. Like whatever this event is that's happening right now around you, I feel like people are seeing you as this spectacle, maybe even as a bright light. They may even see you as something unrecognizable. Yeah, let me see. Give me 1 second. This is getting good. Let's see. Into me, I see. There's some action or something that you're doing that people are, and I feel like it could be you expressing yourself like never before. You have stepped into a level of comfort with yourself, and it may be very intriguing for people because this card is about intimacy. It's about intimacy. And so I feel like you have become, or you are becoming, very comfortable with yourself and very intimate with yourself, very trustful with yourself. And people are seeing that. They're seeing that. Whatever it was before, which could have been like you being really, what's the word I want to use? Reserved is a nice way. Restricted, maybe even a little stuffy, right? People are seeing you in a different way. They're seeing you released from all of that and growing really comfortable with yourself. Maybe even changing. They may not even know you or think they know you as they look at you. You don't look the same. Yeah. There's something about this too, that people are seeing you in some type of way, like being open and vulnerable and just kind of putting it all out there, right? But that's because of your level of comfort within yourself. Like you don't see a need to hide. And so, I mean, you're like an open book. And that's how people are seeing you, like an open book. Why is this card out here for my viewer? I feel like there's also something about you. There's something very, even though people are seeing you and you are open and vulnerable and just really comfortable with yourself and really enjoying this opening, people are seeing that, but there's still also a lot about you that is a mystery that may, in fact, it was clarified by the magician and the moon. So there's a lot about what you do that people are in awe. They're in awe of. The moon says that there is a bit of, what's the word? Not necessarily secrecy, but there's something mysterious about what you do. There's something mysterious about it with the moon. It's not seen, it's hidden. It is a mystery. Being that it follows the magician, this has something to do with you and your abilities and how you show up. It's very, the word that to describe the magician is someone who shows up in their power, that is bold, with a lot of belief in themselves, very confident, can sometimes even be a little cocky because of the level of confidence. This is how people are seeing you, but there's something mysterious about it. Like, where does that come from? That cockiness, that boldness, where does that come from? And maybe it isn't that that's what it is. Maybe that's how they're seeing it. Maybe that's how they're interpreting it. Maybe that's not even what it is. That's how you're being seen right now, it looks like. I think it's beautiful. All these beautiful colors and lights around her head. And then there's a silhouette of wings behind her. And it's just a lot going on that is not, she has a star on her forehead. There's a lot going on here. There may be people living vicariously through you. Yeah. The Grand Symphony comes out as well. Again, this is giving me that energy again of realizing there's something about you you're about to, or you have, as we speak, you are realizing how you are a part of something bigger than you. There's that realization coming through here, that you play a very significant part. That may be revealed to you. If it hasn't been, it's about to be. That you have a part to play in this bigger picture. And what is the Grand Symphony? Why is this coming up for my viewer? The Emperor and the Ten of Emotions. The Emperor and I feel like your joy and your ability to reach this place in life that you've come here to experience. It has a lot to do with joy and contentment and connection and your interaction with others. But that comes and that becomes beneficial when you stand in your place of position, of power. And the Emperor is one who is absolutely a leader, and plays a very important part as his role as the leader. Many people depend on the Emperor. Many people are part of a community, right? But there always has to be a leading energy in order for that community to be effective, in order for that community to be sustained. It almost feels like you are kind of like in that energy, in a leading energy when it comes to a community. And your joy, I feel like, is going to be the byproduct of those that are around you. Yeah. There's something about your purpose that is interconnected with everyone around you, within your community, within your family. There's something very important about you standing in your position and recognizing your sovereignty. There's something specific, something important about you doing that and you recognizing that. And that is going to happen now. Right now, this is happening. I feel like you are being positioned to bring a lot of joy, a lot of things together. A lot of people are going to be changed because of you, I feel. Doesn't mean that they're going to have your experience, but when we talk about the 10 of Cups, we're talking about family, community. We're talking about having this organism that operates effectively for the whole. So there's something very beautiful about you being a part of something bigger, maybe even a specific, important, significant part of that. Okay. But you are understanding that right now, as we speak, this is happening. This is unfolding. Storyteller. The storyteller comes out, bringing back that energy again of the close encounters, spirit wanting you to share your story. There's something about you needing to tell your story, to talk about yourself. You may have a fear. I'm just seeing that. I'm hearing that. You may have a fear of centering yourself. Why is this a fear? You may have a fear of centering yourself. Two of Voices. It could lead back to childhood, right? That could be one of the things that's being healed. Why do you have a fear of centering yourself? Of talking about your story or sharing your testimony. Is there a fear of this? There's things about it that you don't want to admit or acknowledge. You don't want to see. You may have put on blinders about certain parts of your story that you don't want to see. Yeah. Two of Swords to the Three of Swords. Pain. And I understand. It took me 10 years to talk about certain parts of my experience. There were moments that I would just burst out into tears because that was the level of pain that I was experiencing, even though I covered it up with things like religion, with things like rituals, with things like, teaching that says we are supposed to suffer, with things like teaching that says, well, you're supposed to do that. And yeah, that person did treat you less than you were worth, but that was why you were created, right? Foolish stuff that sometimes we believe and have no place in the truth, right? And I would find opportunities and reasons to just cry and to release, but it had nothing to do with the real reason why I was crying and releasing. Is because I didn't have the words. I didn't have the space, and I didn't have the courage to stand up and say that I'm hurting, that I'm still healing. I still haven't gotten over this thing that happened to me, that's been happening to me for the last 10 years. It feels kind of like that. Spirit wants you to share your story, but there's something about it you're pretending not to see. You don't want to see it. Never, let alone feel it. You don't want to feel it. Two of Swords and the Three of Swords. Yeah, you're like, forget that stuff. I ain't got time for the pain. But you do have time for the pain. You have to make time for the pain. It is crucial to your experience, to your future, to this that's unfolding for you. It's crucial. And so there's some fear about talking about your experience or your story. That may be the thing that will free you and cause you to heal. Do that thing. I'm big on that. Like that thing that you are scared to do, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody, as long as it doesn't hurt you, we can talk all day about our experience. Nobody can argue with your testimony and your experience. That's yours. That's yours. And it's yours to do with what you want, what you will. But you owe it to yourself to heal. And if that's the thing that's standing in the way of you healing and releasing some things so that you can move on to the next part of your journey, let's do it. Let's write it down. That's what this picture is. It's a picture of a book and an old-fashioned jar of ink with the feather. And so let's do it. So you may be being called to write a book. Share your journey. There might be parts in there that kept you from finishing the book because you're not sure if you want to share that with the world. But there's something about that I just feel like it's going to be, it's going to be the releasing moment. There's something about you sharing that thing that you don't want to share. This could be about journaling, right? This could be about you writing down. You could have like a blog that you are being called to do. There's something about you talking about your story that's important here. And it comes up as a fear or a hope that you want to do it. But there's certain things I feel like that has kept you from really doing the dang thing. You done played with it a little bit, you go in a little bit until it gets too real and then you back up off of it. But Spirit is like, no, this is where it's at. Yeah, this is where it's at right here. And so that's what I'm seeing coming through as like a fear. The storyteller. That popped out. Beyond the ordinary. Like you have no other choice. No matter how you dice or slice this up, you're going to end up in this experience that is not normal. So, that's just what it is, beyond the ordinary. There's something about your experience that is not going to be normal, right? It's not going to be what people have wished for you or saw for you. It's not going to even be what you have wished and saw for yourself. This is going to be so far removed from anything that you could have ever imagined or dreamed for yourself, right? It's going to be so far removed from that. All you can do is enjoy the ride and be in awe, right? That's all you can do. Because there's a saying that says, eyes have not seen, nor ears heard what the Spirit has in store for me, what God, what the universe, what our source, our divine creator has in store. Nobody knows, not even you. That's what's happening right now. Things are being orchestrated and rewritten just for you, just for you. Now, why is beyond the ordinary? I feel like this is where we end up, okay? So we're going to end it here. Why did that come out? Beyond the ordinary. Beyond the ordinary. Four of Swords. From going from being super stressed out, and I'm hearing toxic. There could be toxic things, that you have become accustomed to, that you have become used to, that you have dealt with. But it's going from that, from, denying yourself the right to enjoy life. Like, I feel like I'm talking to someone who has held themselves back from so many things because of what was expected, because of those mishaps, like that situation I was telling you when I was in pain, and people were like, well, you're supposed to do this as a wife, as a, you're supposed to endure this because of what happened in the, ain't nobody playing. We were not, I don't believe God takes joy in seeing us in pain. And we're not called to be at dis-ease, right? We're not called to that. If we serve a God or a creator that is a God or a creator of order, what would make us think it's okay to stay in dysfunction? And so there's something about going from restricting yourself from being able to move and experience life the way that you really deep inside want to, but there's so many things that is holding you back, so many mindsets, so many projections from others, right? But going from that to this very relaxed state, like it is what it is. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna just go with the flow, right? This beyond the ordinary is going to be so far fetched and removed from where you were. Like I said, people aren't even going to realize, they're not even going to notice you, let alone, understand where you're coming from. And so don't expect to be understood. And please don't people please, because you'd really be toe up if you people please. And you just have to find your flow and go there and stay there and don't worry about it. Just let it be, right? It is what it is. Let it be. You can't change it anyway, right? And so there's going to be a lot about this outcome where you're going to have to learn to be okay in your own space, in your own energy. You're going to have to learn to allow others. That's a huge word, allow, right? Those that want to go because you're no longer doing what you used to do to make them feel at ease and comfort, let them go, allow them to. Those that want to come in and try to challenge your process or what spirit is doing for you and through you, allow them to. That has nothing to do with you either. Those that want to criticize and mock you, right? Allow them to. None of that has anything to do with you. You have been given another road to travel, another focus to take on that has everything to do with you and those connected to you. Okay, that's the importance. It has to do with you and those connected to you. And so you are going to end up in a place that is extraordinary. Okay, it's not ordinary. And it may feel like a lot at times, but it's not going to be anything compared to the suffering that you endured unnecessarily. At least this cause is going to be one that we take up because this is our right to fight to be able to enjoy life and be content. There's a reason behind this, right? There's a reason behind this, and it's something to fight for. I just want to see like the subconscious energy that's brewing here underneath the surface. Like what's brewing underneath the surface that you may not even know is in operation. What is brewing underneath the surface? This understanding of body and soul, of duality, of realizing that they're one and the same. They both deserve an equal amount of attention and reverence. The body is not more important than the spirit, and the spirit is not more important than the body, right? They are one. If the spirit is unhealthy, guess what? The body's going to be unhealthy. And guess what? If the body's unhealthy, that spirit going to be tainted too, because they're one and the same. Spirit is saying, or this is you subconsciously trying to understand. And spirit is letting you know that it is something to understand. You may give reverence to one or the other, or you may feel like one is more important than the other. They're both actually very important. Okay. They're intertwined with one another. It's like saying, that the tongue is more important than the mouth, right? Or the tongue is more important than the lips, right? And not necessarily. They both have a function. They're both purposeful and they're both part of the same organ. And one without the other would be a malformity, right? And so you need both of them to have a full functional mouth. Just like you need your spirit to have a full functional vessel, and you need your body to have a full functional vessel. So there's something about subconsciously you may be weighing one more important than the other, or maybe you're wondering the difference between the two. Let me see. Why is this coming out? Three of Pentacles. This may need to be balanced, right? There's something about holding them both in equal measure. Three of Pentacles with the Sun. It's working towards both of them equally. I feel like this is necessary in understanding not to try to give more weight to one or the other, like to work towards both of them. It's all about balance, right? That's going to bring that contentment. If you're happy spiritually, guess what? You're going to be happy physically. And many times it's the opposite too. When you find happiness in your physical life, many times it's like medicine for the spirit. So both of them are equally as important, just in case you're wondering. That was one of the things that I had to learn too, is like I wanted to spend every waking moment like tapped in and, doing spiritual things. And that's okay too, because it was part of the lesson that I had to learn. But at some point we have to come back around and understand and acknowledge the physical. That's just as important. It's just as important. Okay. And so that's what I have here. This is for somebody. Let me know if it resonates. I'm going to leave it there. Like, share, comment. This is the energy that came out tonight. It always ends up longer than I anticipated. It is what it is. Somebody needed to hear this. And so I am going to release the reading and just leave it there. Let's see. We have the 6th house coming out here. The 5th house, we have Cancer and Venus. So for someone, this is about work. Your work may be in some kind of service to others. It could be. The 6th house is all about the overall picture, right? Understanding that you are interconnected with others. It's not just your experience, but your experience is filtering into others' experience. It's understanding the good of all. It's seeing things as a whole, seeing yourself as a part of a whole with the 6th house. I don't know. This also is tapping into what it is that you do. It may be in service to others. It could be your job. What sign do you have in your 6th house? I'd like to know, because that's going to say a lot about you personally. And how this reading will make more sense too is to look at that. What sign you have in the 6th house. That may be where spirit is kind of tapping in right now and talking about this is something that you do. And it could be pointing you in that direction as well. We also have the 5th house. Talking about that energy, wishing upon a star. The 5th house taps into our childhood, our ability to tap into that energy, our creative energy, having a childlike trust. The 5th house, our ability to still have fun, to enjoy romance, and it's almost like the creative energy flowing out, however that appears. It could be through romance, it could be through art, but it's your expression, your creativeness, your ability to bet on yourself, to allow yourself to reach out there and express. And so what do you have in your 5th house? That may talk about how this energy is popping up through this reading. This may be the area where you need to allow yourself to explore and to show up. We also have the Cancer energy, which is all about that intuition and emotional contentment as well. Are also your ability to be emotionally intelligent, especially as it pertains to the past. Okay. Um, this is about you protecting yourself emotionally, you protecting your intuition. That is all about the emotions. Like, don't let nobody play with you. Don't let nobody play with your emotions, right? This is a time for you to not only open up in ways that maybe you haven't in the past, but develop certain types of boundaries around opening up. That doesn't just mean everything goes, open the floodgates and just let everything in. No, there is an emotional intelligence here with what we're doing, okay, with what you are being led to do. That's the energy Cancer is bringing in. It's almost like learning, being open to explore what's available as you move forward, but also carrying with you the lessons from the past, being able to integrate the energy from the past, right? Moving wisely. And so Cancer comes out in dealing with your emotional state, allowing allowing yourself to be open to express and deal with what's happening emotionally, but just not letting it all hang out, but emotional intelligence, being intelligent emotionally as you move forward. There's a lot that you've learned from the past that now is available within your intuition. It's being tapped into that. Okay. You carry a lot of wisdom from the past. Know that. Trust that. Use that. Don't discount it. You had those experiences so that you can put those under your belt and use them as tools. We also have Venus, this very attractive energy, this very velour, I'm hearing voluptuous energy. There's something very pleasant about this energy coming forward for you. And this may be you allowing yourself to just feel life and do what makes you feel good, do what makes you feel beautiful. Allow yourself to do things that are very pleasurable for you. The Venus is bringing up the energy of you entering into the season of good, feeling good, seeing good, doing good, right? Having people do well by you, and want to enjoy life with you. This is a very bountiful experience that you're entering into. It's very expressive and creative as well. This may be a time where you are able to enjoy things very aesthetically, maybe before you have time. Well, we're making time now. Okay. And then we have Taurus coming out and Pluto. This is being responsible. Taurus brings in the energy of responsibility. Like, yeah, you may be coming into a time of abundance, but it's also being responsible with that. Whatever it is that you are being introduced to or given or being awakened to, there is a responsibility that aligns with that, with these privileges, with these experiences. And that is really staying practical, like not going too far out with the woo woo, right? Remember, we're talking about the high priestess and the empress. It's the physical, but also the spiritual. Also, we have the body and soul that came out subconsciously. Maybe you're not even aware that this is an important, a significant principle at play is balance, right? Yeah, a lot of things are happening and sprouting spiritually, but there's also responsibilities to the practicality of life. Don't forget that. That is what Taurus is reminding of your beliefs, right? The way that they align with what you believe, and those need to show up practically in order for things to stay balanced, okay? It doesn't have to be hard. Like, Just use the most direct way to do that. And with Pluto, this is you resurrecting what has been buried, right? You opening up to allow what was buried to come forth again. That may be you. It may be your heart. It may be some desires that you stuffed away, at one point in life. Pluto brings that energy back out and lets you know how imminent it is, right? It's do or die. There is no choice. We must show up in our highest self and allow ourselves to live right now, right? There's no other choice. That's the energy Pluto is bringing. Now, we have to be careful with Pluto too, because Pluto can sometimes cause us to struggle and knock us off balance, because Pluto can lead us into an obsessive energy. And so that's why the balance is so important, to balance the physical with the spiritual, practical things with, spiritual things, so that we don't slip into that obsessive energy or the struggle around the experience. Or even power struggle. That's not what we're doing. And so there is a need to have self-control in all of this, right? I feel like this has added a little bit more grounded energy to this reading, just to bring it down to earth, bring it on home. And so thank you, Spirit, for that added energy, that added information for my viewer. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. We've been on a good hour now, but I hope this encourages someone that's watching to let you know that Spirit sees you. Yes, Spirit does, right where you are, is very aware, okay? And matter of fact, right in there with you, co-creating with you, right? And so that is confirmation, and it is encouragement as well. And so like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led. If this reading is for you and you want to take it even further, go ahead and email me, hit me up in the comments, let me know how I can help, okay? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Blood Moon Oracle is the channel. My name is Leticia, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.